Australia spends more than $4 billion a year on the R&D tax incentive, and it's the single largest business support program that the Commonwealth runs. And this week, an article in Capital Brief by Harshdeep Kaur under the headline, Australian startup founders are flocking to the US again, local VCs are encouraging them. My cranky pants are on. So StartMate CEO shared this post and she posted about 19 founders being taken to San Fran in May. And I want to be careful here because StartMate is not the villain in this story. They are responding rationally to a structure and ecosystem. And here's a bit of a rundown of what it is. So if your company turns over under $20 million, the R&D tax incentive gives you a 43.5% refundable offset. So it's refundable. A pre-revenue startup with no tax liability receives a cash payment from the ATO. The Australian public underwrites the hardest, least certain years of building a company. And what this sector is now encouraging is incorporation in the US, the cap table moving, hire engineers inside the Bay Area. The capital gains event happens in a jurisdiction that had nothing to do with its build. So we're socialising the risk, we're offshoring the return, and then we are revering the people for leaving. Now, before anyone tells me about this being a capital gains tax situation, on the 18th of June, Chalmers announced the innovative business capital gains tax concession. Founders and employee share schemes keep the 50% discount. The sector asked and they received it. The Capital Brief piece is run 7 weeks later. So tax was never the mechanism. What's pulling people over is a density of capital. And that density of capital is something that we either encourage and build or we agree to rent. And what I just want founders to be careful about is what they're renting into. So Silicon Valley darling Peter Thiel got New Zealand citizenship and bought 193 hectares on Lake Wanaka. He has since bought a $12 million property in Buenos Aires and a bunker site in Uruguay. The New York Times reports one of the things he's hedging against is runaway artificial intelligence. The most confident people about this techno future keep buying the escape routes out of it. And none of this is a criticism of any individual founder. People have mortgages, they have finite runway. Sometimes you need to grab the bag, and I get that, and I say that without an ounce of judgment. But there is a difference between a person making a decision and an industry that's encouraging an exit ramp. But it costs beyond the money. Australia has spent years trying to earn a voice in global AI governance, sovereign capability, our own standards. And every company that's relocating carries capability into someone else's jurisdiction, capability that was proven here on our money in our public institutions. So if you want to be an oligarch building the next generation's Uber for cat food, like sure, go on quietly hollowing out the community that funded you to get there. Go for it. But just don't expect us to cheer you on the way out.